Hey everybody, a real quick EFP live video for you all. I want to talk about how I prepare for games. And since it's Mothership month, I figured it'd make a lot of sense if I show you how I make my notes before I start running a game so that I have my own cheat sheet. I know there are tons of cheat sheets out there, and there's nothing wrong with those. You should download them, you should use them, you should have them in front of you when you run your game. But I do believe that writing it out yourself physically is what I usually do, or typing it out if I'm pretty comfortable with it, and having your own version of the notes allows you to do a couple things. One, you know where everything is because you wrote it yourself. Two, it allows you to put things in a format that works for you. Not everyone formats things the same way. The way your brain thinks, works, pretends that it knows things, however you lie to yourself, you should be doing that to make your stuff. So, let me show you what I did, and this is a very short video, but trust me, you can do this yourself in just a matter of maybe an hour. So here you can see I'm in Canva. I made my own notes. I used their doc format just to try it out. And I did Mothership Warden notes. All of the page numbers that are in here are from the Mothership Survivors. If you don't know what that is, this is the Mothership core book, the Survivor's Guide. All the page numbers and everything you need are in here. These are strictly notes that I would have to explain to players, and I wanted to have page numbers associated with them, so I made my own cheat sheet. The way I started this off is I just threw Mothership Warden notes up here. I put a logo there for myself. For those who are looking to learn Canva, I just did 2-column format in the document. You can lay this out however you want, though. I usually handwrite my notes, and when I do, I write notes to myself on an angle in a different color so I know they're mine. I did a checklist here so I could go through, counted how many it was, and did bullet points for page numbers afterwards. So you can see when I found out all the things that I need. I did check boxes here so that when I'm in edit mode, I can check them for myself and go through them and made sure that I got all these pieces of information. What I did is I went through and wrote down the things I remembered having to look up after my first 2 sessions of running ARKYVR live. When do you roll D100s? When do you roll the D20? What modifiers can be added, how crits work, skills and damages, and the panic rolls. Those all kind of fall underneath. And you can see to the other side of that, on the right, I put the page number that can be found in the book and a little note for myself if it's needed. Really simple, really easy to do. And the cool thing about page numbers is if you're using a PDF reader, you go through and you mark it. If you're using, I don't know, your copy of the guide, like this one here, you can bookmark them. I use darts. You can get these on Amazon, hella cheap. Darts fit on almost any page. They don't weigh shit. And all they are these tiny little metal pieces. And they just slide on the edge of your page. You get different colors. I think this whole thing, when it was full, was about $8. And I've went through probably almost all of them over the course of the last 2 years. Now you just leave them in your book. You don't ever fucking take them out. You leave them in this thing. You're set to go. With that said, I went through and wrote down the things I was trying to remember. Crits were important. How does that work? Skills and damages. Panic. How did death saves work? How does surprise work? Every game handles surprise differently. And Mothership really handles it differently. As I found out, looking at how does surprise work, you make a fear roll, and if you fail it, you miss a round. I didn't know that's how surprise worked, but if you rolled it correctly, you get your action still. Super great way to do it. Were you startled is essentially what it's saying. How do you skill train if people want to go up? You actually pay and take time in this game. How does health and wounds heal? I know this is a gritty space. It can't be the same as normal, and it isn't. Health doesn't heal normally. Health, you take time to heal. It's not an easy thing to do. It is something that, as you can see here, if I look at health and wounds, I said 34. If I go over to the PDF and I type in page 34, this will take me to what I need. And it talks about using short-term recovery versus long and how you get back and what you get back. There are drugs and things like that as well, but it does help. I know I can look that up easily or the book in my hand. So super clean way to do this. And the other things I knew I was having a hard time with is stress. I know it caps at 20 because you have to roll a d20. You have to roll over your current stress level for your panic rolls. Again, the only thing that uses a d20. Well, how do you heal it? How do people get their stress back? So I know on page 20 and 39, there are options for this. So if we go to page 20 again in your PDF, you have, how do I gain stress? How do I relieve stress? Well, you get it by resting. When you rest in the game, you use your worst save on the character sheet. There's only 3. Use the worst one, you make a roll. If you roll under it, you heal the ones place. So if I roll a 21, that's under whatever the lowest save is, I only heal 1. Works like that. It's pretty cool. You can get advantage on it by taking, like, doing consensual sex, recreational drugs, heavy drinking, prayer, or any other form of kind of suitable leisure, as they say. But I made a note what page that's on, so I know how to look it up. The same thing, what is the damage die range? As a GM, I love having a chart that lets me know what low, mid, and high damages are, because as a GM, I'm not going to make every monster by looking it up. I'm going to freeform a lot of my monsters. And as one of the fans of the show, or the people who are in the audience pointed out, there is something that does 1 damage, just does 1 tick. GMs forget you can nickel dime and rose bush your people to death. But D5, which is half of D10, and then D10 ranges from 1 all the way up to 4d10. Marked no page number, but I did mark a chart on page 2 for all the weapons. Where is equipment? Page 10. Huge list of it. How does armor work? I marked that out. And then if something was more important that needed more words than what this chart could fit, I switched it up. I made the chart look like this. Boom. Check it out. You have yourself that chart, and it shows you what you can use. It's a very simple piece of, hey, chart, page number. But at the bottom, you have like dice notations. Anytime I see a plus or a minus, I know that that is advantage and disadvantage in the game. I also marked it rest saves. Using your worst save also does something. So this really brought forth, when you're looking up page numbers in this book, what you get and how to find it. So really simple, 1-page cheat sheet that I made myself for Mothership. And I think you should do this for any game you're getting ready to run. I mean, it's just clean and simple. The reason I do this is for me to remember when I'm playing the game. And I find that when I set it down in front of me, I know that's what it's going to look like. It is a simple, hey, check it out. You wrote this. You wrote the page number. This was important to your memory. And now I have it. So if you're making anything for your games, I highly recommend sitting down and doing this. Maybe I'll print this out and give it to you, breaking my own rules. Maybe I'll link it for you to download for yourself. But I think that you should do it for yourself. Look it up in the book. Find out where it is, either in your physical or in your PDF. Either bookmark them here, or bookmark them and look at the hyperlinks that are in the PDF and get yourself set up to go. Simple design. You can do it on a piece of graph paper if you want. You don't have to do it this way. I just wanted to display it on the screen for you. I hope this helps you out as you're prepping for your Mothership month, or whatever game it is you're playing over the course of November, maybe over your Christmas break. But that's it for me here at EFP. If you have any questions, leave comments down below. There is a full stream surrounding this set piece. If you want to see it actually get made, you can find that as well. For those who are live on the stream, stick around. We're going to close out today with a little bit of fun.